Welcome back, focused learners. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us for today's explainer. We're setting the stage for a truly fascinating deep dive into a cultural and spiritual phenomenon that has literally captured the world's attention. We're talking about sacred Thai tattoos, known as Sak Yant. Now, if you're the kind of person who loves to unpack the hidden frameworks and rich histories behind major cultural trends, you are in the exact right place. We aren't just looking at pretty designs today. No way. We are uncovering a living, breathing tradition.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to just think about this for a second. Is your tattoo just ink, or is it a living ritual? See, in the West, we usually treat tattoos as static pieces of art, right? A permanent souvenir, maybe an aesthetic choice. But the Sak Yant tradition, it completely shatters that whole paradigm. Today, we're exploring the profound spiritual mechanics that actually make these tattoos work, and we'll see exactly why getting one is a lifelong commitment, not just a quick trip to a tattoo chair.
To truly grasp this, we're going to use the iceberg model. Let's start right at the highly visible tip of that iceberg with section 1, beyond the aesthetic.
On the surface, Sak Yant designs are, well, undeniably cool. The global explosion of this art form really kicked into overdrive back in 2003. That's when Angelina Jolie got her famous Hah Taew, or 5 lines tattoo, from a respected Sak Yant master. Ever since then, thousands upon thousands of travelers have flocked to Thailand specifically seeking out these sacred geometric designs, the animal figures, the ancient comb scripts. And it's easy to see why, right? They're incredibly striking, and they carry this aura of ancient mystique. But if we only look at the ink, we are completely missing the point. So let's guide ourselves below the waterline of our iceberg to uncover the invisible paradigm shift. Section 2, the magic needs charging. In this tradition, a Sak Yant is not mere ink. It's actually considered a living, breathing entity of protection, fortune, and power. So these aren't just drawings, they're spiritual contracts. When a monk or an Ajahn, which is a master practitioner, applies a Sak Yant, they're chanting specific mantras to invoke protective spirits. The tattoo literally becomes a personal amulet imprinted right on the skin. But here is the critical part, and you really have to understand this. That amulet requires an active, ongoing commitment to maintain its potency. Now, what's really interesting about this is the belief that a wearer's actions actually charge a Sak Yant with its magic. I want you to think of a Sak Yant like a rechargeable battery. The monk provides the initial spark, the hardware, if you will. But you are the power source. Your daily behavior, your ethics, your moral compass, that is what keeps that battery charged. If you act poorly, the battery drains, the magic goes completely dormant, and the tattoo reverts to being just normal, everyday ink. And that leads us to the massive base of our iceberg, the absolute core focus of our explainer today. Section 3, the 5 sacred precepts. These are the fundamental moral rules that actively charge the magic of the Sak Yant. If you want the protection and the blessings, well, this is the ethical framework you must absolutely commit to. Let's take these one by one, giving them the reverence they truly deserve. Starting with the very first precept, do not kill. Specifically, do not intentionally kill a living thing, particularly with malice. Now, obviously, this is a standard societal norm and a rule in almost every major religion. But in the context of the Sak Yant, it's really about maintaining a fundamental respect for life. The magic of the tattoo is rooted entirely in compassion and positive energy. So bringing intentional death or harm into the world, that completely short-circuits that spiritual connection. Let's move to the second precept and see how this builds. Don't steal. This means maintaining the integrity of all your transactions and not taking what isn't freely given for personal gain. So exploiting others, cheating in business, or taking advantage of someone's trust, all of that directly drains your tattoo's spiritual battery. The power of the Yant absolutely relies on the purity of the wearer's life. You simply cannot attract good fortune if you're actively stealing it from someone else. The third precept is to avoid lying. Be honest and do not use negative speech. In the Sak Yant tradition, words have immense power. Remember, the tattoos themselves are created using chanted mantras. So, using your speech to maliciously harm others, to slander, or to deceive, that directly breaks the spiritual contract you made when receiving the ink. While, small white lies to spare someone's feelings might be debated, malicious deceit is a strict, hard-line violation.
Our fourth precept is avoiding sexual misconduct. Fundamentally, this means respecting your own boundaries and the boundaries of others. In practical terms, for the Sak Yant wearer, it means not desiring another person's partner and being strictly faithful to your own spouse or lover. It's really all about honoring your commitments and not causing emotional destruction or betrayal in your personal relationships. Finally, the fifth precept: intoxicate not. Avoid substances that cause a loss of mindfulness. So the crucial point is this: it's not necessarily a strict prohibition against ever having a single drink, but rather about avoiding the extreme intoxication that leads to a loss of control. Why? Well, because when you lose mindfulness, you make bad decisions. You might lie, you might steal, you might become violent. Losing control through intoxication is easily the fastest way to break all the other precepts and utterly destroy the tattoo's magic. Now that we've covered those heavy, foundational moral rules, I want to shift the tone a little bit for Section 4, the quirky temple rules. Because alongside those universal 5 precepts, you might actually run into some highly specific and, frankly, very quirky guidelines depending on the monk lineage. Check these out. Don't sit on a cracked ceramic urn. Don't eat starfruit or gourds. Don't duck under a banana tree. Don't eat leftovers. When Western travelers hear these, they are usually totally bewildered. But there's a fascinating historical context here. For example, Wat Bong Phra isn't just a tattoo center. It's a school for young novice monks. Imagine a temple just full of energetic kids running around. These highly specific rules were very likely created to keep misbehaving children safe. Like stopping them from bouncing on broken pottery or running wild through the agricultural patches. They were passed down over time simply as part of the tradition of honoring the teacher's word. So while the 5 precepts are universal, these quirky rules offer a wonderful, slightly humorous glimpse into the living history of the temple itself. Which brings us right down to the ocean floor of our iceberg model for our ultimate takeaway today, Section 5, Appreciation versus Appropriation. And this brilliantly illustrates the profound difference in how you approach this art. On one side, we have appropriation. This is seeing a Sak Yant as just a cool design, grabbing it off a wall as a flash piece at a commercial tourist shop and using it purely as a prop for your social media. It completely ignores the origin and the sanctity of the symbols. On the flip side, we have true appreciation. This is honoring the living heritage as an act of faith. It means seeking out an authentic Ajahn or monk, engaging in the actual ritual, learning the history, and most importantly, actively committing to those 5 precepts we just spent time discussing. It's really about respecting the process, not just walking away with the result. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to ask yourself, especially if you ever find yourself in Thailand considering a traditional tattoo. Are you ready to charge your ink? Because a Sak Yant isn't something you just get. It's something you have to actively live up to every single day. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.